Welcome to the Composer 11 authoring demo. Within this demonstration, we'll take a look at some of the new features of the Composer Forms and Workflow Designer. You'll be able to see the integrated authoring experience. Everything is contained within this solution file, and we'll also take a look at some enhanced form controls and the multi-browser support that we now have. So I'm going to create a new solution. There's a wizard now to make this easier. It walks you exactly through the things that you might need in order to create a solution. Once we've put in the server information, then it asks who's going to be involved in this process. So I can choose the type of assignment that I want to do for that particular role, and also make those assignments at this point. If you have any external data connections, you can add those here as well. So again, the wizard is designed to help you get to a point right away where you can publish and start to utilize and then change your form as needed. If you have your scripts, you can add them here. And just like that, we're in the solution, and we're actually ready to publish right now if we would like. As you can see here, Composer has built a very simple workflow for us to be able to use. It just has a start and an end. This is part of that quick time to value, being able to publish very quickly, start testing and using your form very quickly. But in this case, we do have some review activities that we want to use, so I'm going to go ahead and alter this just a bit. First, I'll select and delete the previous transition, and then I'll select the approval node in the workflow section and build that into the manager swim lane. It's just drag and drop. You're just drawing the shape in the swim lane for who you want to have perform that activity. Then I'm going to drag and drop between activities from the start to the approval, and then from the approval to the end point. And with this end point, I also have the ability to make alterations around what it means. So right now it's blue, which just indicates completed. I'll go ahead and change that to rejected. And you can see here that that makes the node red to indicate that it is the rejected path. And then also, when my processes run and I go back to look at them, the ones that have been rejected will show as such. I also need to make this transition indicate that this is my rejected path, so I'll right-click and make that selection. Finally, we need one more endpoint that represents our approved activity. We'll draw the connector here and change the transition. And then finally, we'll change the disposition of this node to indicate that that is our approved path. So now we have our more complex workflow in place, ready to be published and tested. On the Form tab, I can see that it actually built a form for me using all of the fields that were contained within my script. So if I go here to my Solution tab, I can go ahead and deploy it and be ready to test it right away. As you can see, my form is here, ready to go. I can make a few changes with the fields that are available. I can validate and run the web service to see if my data is correct. And then we can actually process those changes against live SAP. So one of the biggest things that we're seeing here is a very quick time to value. Once you've built your scripts, you can walk through this wizard solution and have a solution ready to publish in just a matter of minutes. So our key benefits for our authoring demo. First, HTML5 is the platform that it's built on, so you have multi-browser support. I actually built that form in a Chrome browser. You can use Firefox, Chrome, IE, or Safari, just to name a few. We also saw there an integrated form and workflow authoring experience. So it's all one solution. It takes you through a wizard to the main parts that are needed in order to get to a place where you can publish. And then ultimately we saw that quicker time to value. Just by going through that wizard and verifying that our pieces were in place, we were able to deploy and test our form right away.